Welcome to mjara.com. Client server iTech 285, Andrew Kadogan. In this video tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to implement an email server. There are three applications we are going to need: Winamp server, HMail server, and Squirrel Mail. Now I installed my Winamp server already. It is default, and I'm going to start it up. At the bottom right hand corner of your screen of your desktop, you're going to see the Winamp server icon. Left click on it and put the server online. When the server comes online, start all services. To ensure that the server is up and running, go into your open a browser and type in localhost, and you'll see Winamp interface being displayed within your browser. That indicates that the server is up and running. The next thing we're going to do is install HMail server and connect it. Now I already installed HTML server and I'm going to connect it. I'm going to type in my password, and this is the HTML server interface. Now before we add any domain, we have a minor configuration to do. So let's navigate to local disk, Windows, System32 file, drivers, and the etc folder. We're going to look for the file called host, and we're going to edit this file with any application that you see comfortable. I'm going to use Notepad, and at the bottom of my Notepad I'll see the local host, the loopback address of 127.0.0.1, and localhost. Here's where we're going to create our domain. So I'm creating my domain as mjara.local, and I'm going to save it. Let's close off these files, and I'm going to add the domain that I just created within the file. The domain was mjara.local. I'm going to save it, and it has been populated over on the left hand pane of my account. Now I'm going to click on account and I'm going to add. This is where you can add any number of users that you want. I'm going to add one for, since that is just a tutorial, I'm going to add Marcus. So it will be Marcus at mjara.local will be my login and my password. I'm going to create the size of my email. I'm going to make it 10 megabytes. I'm going to save this, and let's exit. From here now, I'm going to go to my Winamp server and go to my Apache alias directories and add an alias. Now, before we do this, let's go and download Squirrel Mail. You can download just Google Squirrel Mail, and from the time you have gotten it downloaded to your system, extract it to your local disk and store it under your local disk, on any local disk folder under Squirrel Mail. So we extracted our Squirrel Mail and we are running adding an alias. So let's call our alias mail, and let's now navigate back to that same part that we just created for Squirrel Mail. And we created our alias. Now let's navigate to the Squirrel Mail directory and look for the configuration folder. Let's rename this file config_default to just config.php. Alright, after we have done that, we're going to edit this file. I'm going to use Notepad. We are looking for four things. We are looking for domain, SMTP server address, the IMAP server address, the IMAP server type, data type, and attachment. So we're going to look for first our domain name. So our domain, we're going to change that and put our default domain. My own was mjara.local. Our next thing would be SMTP server address. Also name that your local domain name. We're looking for, after this will be the IMAP server. And that will also be mjaro.local. After that, we're going to go to our IMAP server type and replace this with HMail server. You're looking for our data folder. Here it is. We're going to change the name from this and direct it to our path where SQL mail folder is stored in our C drive. Same goes for the attachment. And that's it. We're going to save this file. And we're now going to connect to our server. We're going to type in our local host /mail/index.php. The SQL mail application open up. This is our web interface access to our email. And then remember, I created my email as mmarcus@mjaro.local and my password. And there you have it. I've successfully completed the setting up of and implementing of an email server. Thank you for watching mjaro.com client server iTech 285 Andre Kadogan. Hi, and welcome to another video tutorial from mjaro.com iTech 285 client server custard. In this video tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to set up an email server. Now, there's 3 applications we're going to need: Winamp server, HMail server, and Squirrel Mail. Now, I already installed my Winamp server, and I'm going to run my interface, my application, sorry. Now, when the application starts, you'll see this green icon. That is when the server is online. Now, you might see an orange icon. To fix that is quite simple. You left click on the icon and you put server online. My one is off. My one is online right now, so you see offline. That's if I want to put it offline. Right after you put the server online, you start all services, and that will be it. Then you can ensure that your server is up and running by opening any one of your browsers and typing localhost in the address bar. And there is the web server interface. Right, the next program that I said that we're going to need was HMail server. Now, I already installed mine and I'm going to connect it. Now, when you install in your HMail server, install it all its defaults. When you reach the screen here, going to connect. The password, I'm going to enter my password. This is the password you would have entered previously during installation. Now, from here, I'm going to navigate. Before I add a domain, I'm going to navigate to my local disk, my Windows folder, my System32 folder. Then I'm going to go to drivers, and then I'm going to my etc folder. Here I'm looking at the host file. Now you're going to edit this file with any Notepad application. I'm going to use Notepad++. And right here at the bottom where your loopback address of 127.0.0.1, your local host, you're going to add your domain name. Now my domain name will be mjaro.local. All the domain name that you're adding here must end with the extension .local. And I'm going to save it and close off these windows. Here I'm going to add my domain name, and the domain name that you added is what you're going to put back here and save it. And on the left hand pane, you'll see that my mjaro.local account has been added. I'm going to click on my account and I'm going to add a user here. I'm going to call my own Marcus at mjaro.local. I'm going to create a password and I'm going to determine the size of the inbox of my email server. I'm going to make it 10 megabytes and save this. My passwords are pretty weak, but this is just a video tutorial, so let's go and exit. The next application we're going to need is Skrill Mail. I already downloaded Skrill Mail. When you download a Skrill Mail, you're going to extract it. A nice place to extract it is your local disk and create Skrill Mail folder. On the Skrill Mail folder, it's right here. This is what the Skrill Mail folder looks like. Now I'm going to go back to my web arm and I'm going to go to my Apache alias directories and add an alias. I'm going to call it mail and I'm going to create the same direct location for where my Skrill Mail is. My Skrill Mail, it is in the C drive. So I'm going to put C:/Skrill Mail. Hit enter. So I created my alias. And now I'm going to go to my Skrill Mail folder and go to the config file and this config.php. Now the default of this will be config_default.php, but I have edited, and these are the changes that you will make in your the first thing we're going to do is look for domain, and here's the domain, and you're going to name it with your default domain name. My one was mjaro.local. The next thing we're going to look for is the SMTP server address, and there it is. I changed my own to mjaro.local also. Under my IMAP server address, I also renamed it to mjaro.local, and my IMAP server type is my HMail server. Now I'm going to navigate down to my data directories. Right, and under my data directory, I actually put the root folder for the path, which is C://skrillmail/data/ and other attachment there. I'm going to put now C://skrillmail/attachment. It's that simple. I'm going to save the file. Close off this window and let's open up our web browser. In our web browser window now, we're going to type in http://localhost/mail/@index.php, and it will bring up the Skrill Mail web interface. We're going to create the username, which was Marcus at my domain mjaro.local, and my password, and login. And here you saw that our email server is up and running. Thank you.